What's going on, everybody? It's MidwestReefer, and I'm back today with a brand new video. And today, I think the video is going to be pretty special. It's going to mark a new beginning on my channel in a new mini series as well. So here's a tank. This is pre-water change, so I'm obviously getting ready to do my water change. The corals are out. Everything is doing very nice, but there's one thing that's been bothering me for a while now, and that's this Duncan here. As you can see, the Duncan is doing amazing. However, it is cramped over here in this corner. And the reason why it's over here in this corner is because it gets stung by my euphyllias over here, my hammer corals and my frog spawn. And then on top of that, the shrimp like to walk all over it, and the snails like to knock it over. They don't mess with the other corals too much, but for whatever reason, they mess with the Duncan. And really, that's my favorite coral. It's getting beat up. It deserves better than this. So I have something. Now, before I get to this something, let me lay a little bit of background why I'm doing it now. So I had a betta fish named Ryu, and I had a custom dragon tank for it. You may have seen it on my Instagram, and I'll throw a picture up here in a moment to let you guys know what it looks like. And when I got this tank here, I gave that tank to my parents, and unfortunately Ryu committed suicide, jumped out of the tank. I don't know why. But I took my family's fish tank card back. They lost the card. I took the tank back, and you know, we're gonna do something with it. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. Bam! Right here is a top fin 2.5 gallon all-in-one freshwater tank. Now this is where Ryu was, and obviously had different decorations, everything in it. It's sitting on top of a custom stand that I made and painted. You may be able to see the paint lines on there because I was rushing to get it painted. But we are going to do a new project with this tank. So why don't we go ahead and take this tank over to the table and get a closer look at it. Okay guys, we're over here at the table in my little studio area, and I have the 2.5 gallon top fin all-in-one freshwater tank with me. Like I said, it was Ryu, my Betta's tank that I gave to my family and they let die. No, it wasn't their fault. Things happen. But anyway, we're going to take advantage of his death. I know that sounds horrible, but we're going to start a new project here. So here's the tank and some of the components I have for it. So let's kind of dive in and take a look at those things. So as you can see, I do have some substrate in there. Just doing some basic white sand. It got some pretty big grains to it, but not too big. So that's good. It was just like a little $5 bag of aquatic substrate, just basic. Petco or PetSmart brand, freshwater, saltwater. Doesn't need to be fancy. Here's the tank in the rear sump area. Comes with a nice little lid that will cover it up and look sleek. You know, you guys know I like everything looking sleek, clean, and minimalistic, so that will definitely help out with my OCD. Filtration is pretty basic, and I think it will get the job done. It's just activated carbon wrapped in filter floss. These last about a month, or at least they did when I had my betta in there, and they recommend changing them out once a month. It comes in packs of 2. It's like only $4. So that's going to be pretty cool. Although I am going to have some Chemi Pure Blue back in here because I do have some cycled media from my fluval that's going to be going back here, obviously to help me jump off this tank. So now you guys know it is going to be a saltwater setup, if you didn't already know. And then right here, there was a hole to let water pass through so the sump didn't dry out, and then also so the level change was correct. Didn't make much sense in this case though, because the inlet for the filtration is also at the bottom. I can understand if the inlet was up here, but it's down here too, so I don't know why they put that extra hole there. All it's doing is passing up my filtration, so I blocked it with an extra magnetic suction cup that I had. So there's that. Right here, I got me a piece of dry rock from my local fish store. This time around, I'm going to do dry rock and dry sand. There's no problem with doing live rock and live sand. Obviously, I did that with the fluval, and I did a whole video on skip cycling your tank. So if you want to know about skip cycling, go ahead and watch that video. And there's some other good reads out there on the forums. But essentially, you will get a few bristleworms. You will get a few snails or like pest starfish if you do live option, which is fine. That's why it's called live rock, duh. But really, I just want to do dry rock and dry sand so I can be on both sides of the spectrum. I can say that I did dry and I can say I did live. So that's why I went with that. A little freshwater light over there, I'm not gonna really talk about it. It's junk and we're not gonna use it. My light should be coming in here in a few days, tomorrow actually, that I ordered. Over there's a return pump. This is a leftover Hydor pump. That's 180 gallons that I actually had in my Battle of the Powerheads video. That's on my channel. If I decide that I need more flow in the tank, I'll go ahead and pop that guy in there, but I don't know if we'll need it yet. And then around here somewhere, I have the last thing to show you guys is a Aqueon 10 watt heater. It's pre-programmed for 78 degrees, which is where I keep the Fluval at currently. And it should get the job done. It worked for the beta. If not, I'll buy a better one, or I will buy, you know, I'll just buy a better heater. But it should get the job done. This is a Pico tank, so everything that we do has to be small. But that's pretty much the basic layout. I am going to get started on the tank today as far as putting the water and everything in there and starting to get it cycle with the media that I already have in the Fluval. But I didn't tell you guys what I was doing with this tank. So what I'm going to be doing with this tank, if you couldn't tell from the beginning of the video, is I'm going to be making this a home for my Duncan coral. It's been pushed off into that corner. It gets picked on by my invertebrates and the other corals, and it deserves better. That coral was with me since day one. It's only gotten better since I've had it, so I want to do something for it. So I'm going to make it a Duncan Dojo. That's right, I called it the Duncan Dojo. I think it sounds pretty cool, and I don't care if you guys don't think it's cool. It's the Duncan Dojo, and hopefully you guys will you know, stick with me and watch the progression of this tank, the ups and the downs, because I'm sure there'll be some you know, a decent amount of both. But if you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do that, because that's why I make these videos. This is for you guys. If you dig them, you know, it motivates me to make more. And if you don't, then I could just be doing it without doing these videos. And then obviously, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.